Hello, hello.
So that
How's
made
it
me
going?
happy, and then it made me sad.
What happened?
The Prince music.
How did it make you sad? Oh, because he's not with us
Yeah,
anymore.
like I got really excited, and then I was like, "Oh man,
Well, he had like 40 albums, so I mean,
not
if you
enough."
if you just go back and listen to some old stuff, that song was from I can't remember what song that what
I was
album that
about to
was
say,
from.
"Yep, that one. That's exactly the
What did you
one."
say?
I said,
I'm
"Yep,
about to
that
look it.
one."
I'm about to look it up. That song was from Brian. Don't remember. I don't remember.
This is not a good question to ask um, off the cuff without giving you any time to think. But what's your favorite Prince song?
As there's no way
Exactly.
whatever I would ever be able to answer that.
Mm-mm.
Forget time. Only time. I don't know. Although I can pick a probably I can pick a top 10.
We ain't got time for all that.
I know we don't have time for top 10. You know
Is
what? You know
that
what
song
one
in your
is?
top 10?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the symbol. The album with no name. That the name of the album was just the symbol, the print symbol. They changed it into the symbol.
I miss
That's the name
Prince,
of
man.
this
He
album.
was anyway.
The dude would do whatever he wanted. That was Three Chains of
Great.
Gold. That was a good one. But yeah, that one's up there. One of the ones that I like. So I like his stuff that not necessarily like his singles and stuff like that. That stuff was good too. Obviously, I like all of his stuff, but
Yeah,
the stuff that's like the deep cuts on his albums and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Those are like the best ones to me. There was a joint
I
called
think
Crucial.
that's that. Okay, that's on my top 10 for sure.
Yeah,
It
Chlorine
might
Bacon
it
Skin.
might be on top 5. Chlorine bacon skin might be number 2.
What's number one?
Every time chlorine bacon skin comes on, I feel like I just lose my mind. Like
It's
I
it's so good. It's
can't
so
function.
good. My favorite
And
part
it's
about it
so
is that
simple.
it's
He
a
doesn't do
freestyle. Yeah,
anything.
there's two
Exactly.
instruments. There's a bass drum and there's a bass guitar and a drum.
That's it.
And it's him and
And
he's
Prince
the voice
saying
and
stuff that
there's
doesn't
no
make any
lyrics. He's just
sense.
saying stuff.
He's just
His
saying
weird
stuff.
voice.
It's
And it's like
fantastic.
15 minutes long. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. Yep. So tomorrow I'll
um,
be working to Prince. Thank you. I already have a
yeah,
Prince playlist. That's just the one I'll play tomorrow while I'm
I actually
finishing
have
my
one,
page
two,
writing
three,
on the
four.
10 Virgins parable with Prince in the
Wow,
background.
wow.
I don't work
I have
nicely.
I have 7 Prince playlists.
Why? And whatever. We don't
7.
have time. Listen, welcome back,
I have
everybody.
7 Prince playlists.
We don't have time.
Friend,
We don't have
lover, sister,
time.
mother, wife,
That's a good one. That's a good one.
strolling.
Another really good song. This might be my number one. It
Chelsea
might be my
Rogers.
number one. No, but that's a good song too. I hate you.
I hate you is a good one.
I hate you is a really.
I hate you is a good
I'm
one.
not gonna say that's number one because that's crazy now that I'm saying it, but that's definitely in my top 5.
I actually have a I hate you countdown. Maybe I'll do that next episode.
That's a yeah. Just be
Yeah.
careful what part of the song you. Anyway,
But it's just I'm trying to lean into the instrumental like breakdowns of these songs. That's why I
right.
played the guitar solo from Back to Euphoria. So trying to
We
I like the
definitely need to do
instrumental
chlorine
solos.
bacon skin then, and in the
Oh,
theme
that's a
of
good point.
not only Black History Month because Prince was black, but also he was light skinned. But anyway, but also in the spirit of
Like Gold said, I came in at the wrong time. Who do you hate?
also in the spirit of Valentine's Day, which is coming up in 2 days. So in the spirit of love and blackness, I think in February we need to play. Let's do March too. We need to play Prince for our countdown. We need to play some Prince
Okay.
music.
I only have
Yeah.
2 so far, so I have to make 2 more. That's a
Yeah.
good idea. So actually, we'll take some suggestions on a couple of Prince instrumentals or like an instrumental solo from one of his albums. As
No,
a matter of
don't
fact,
just say a couple Prince songs and we'll figure out because we know them all. We'll figure
yeah,
out the best place because there are some of his songs where we could play the chorus where he's singing actual
right,
lyrics and it would still be
right.
good. So yeah, give
Yeah,
us some suggestions. Give us your favorite Prince songs and
yeah,
we'll see what we can do. Play a little bit.
yeah, I hate you. And I, of course, is spelled EYE because it's
Right,
Prince.
because it's Prince and the U is just the letter U because it's Prince.
Right. I hate you. It's great.
Welcome back, everybody. Don't
Yes,
forget
welcome,
to like, share,
welcome.
and subscribe.
For sure.
This is Club PK, where we discuss the secret lives of pastors' kids. And I say this every week. Should I stop saying it?
No, say it.
that I'm excited about our guest. Like
No,
I like
it's because
legitimately am.
it's been true every time.
Yeah, it's
So
so
when
true.
it's not true, just don't say it, and we'll know they can
No,
tune out that time.
I'm excited about our guest. We have known our guest, I mean, most of our lives. And well, we've known their whole family most of our lives,
Yeah.
really. And I'm really interested in her perspective about growing up as a pastor's kid because she has a younger sister who also grew up as a pastor's kid. And I'm guessing, just because I also have siblings, that her experience is going to be different than her. Well, there are going to be differences in their experiences. Not necessarily that
Right.
they'll be completely different, but
Right.
there'll be some differences between the two, I'm sure. So, do we just want to bring her on? I don't remember
Let's
how we
do
do
it.
this. We're bringing on
We're in
Kim
charge.
Kale.
We can do whatever we want here. So
Yeah, we can.
you know. Sorry.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, let's move
Here
it.
you go. Kim Kale.
Hey,
Kim
Welcome,
Kale.
welcome.
Yes.
I want to hear when doves cry. Boop, 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 boop.
When Dove's Cry is a good one. That's
that one.
That's a quality tune.
That's a
So that's
good
a
song.
good example. See,
Good
that's a
song.
good example, Kim, of one of his songs that's a single. That's it hits. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? My favorite songs tend to be the deep cuts, but his singles hit. Like, them joints are dope.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
When
I'm
Dove's Cry is a
excited
good one.
about that.
Guys, how y'all
Welcome,
doing?
Kimberly.
It's got sorry, and
Thank
it,
you.
when Dove's Cry has one of the most iconic openings, right? As soon as the song starts, you're like, oh,
Yeah. Everybody recognizes it.
You know it
Yep.
as soon as you hear it.
Yep.
love
You
it.
definitely need to
Love
do
it,
that.
love it.
Let's just make the rest of 2025 the year of Prince. Let's just do that.
agree.
I could
I
do
mean,
a Kim
there's
one.
he has
I could do a Prince
enough.
one every time. Sure.
He has enough, and we wouldn't have scratched the surface with what we do.
I got 7 playlists. I'm sure I can find some songs from each of
so
those.
Kim Kale is the former Kim Mendinghall, Mendinghall,
Mendinghall.
and she is the sister of April Nixon, who is me and Paul's sister-in-law, who we had on the show a few episodes back. So we are very happy to have you here, Kim. We're excited to hear about your perspective, but we didn't really talk about something at the top of the show, me and Paul, that I want to talk about with you because you're married and have been married for 22 years?
26.
26 years.
26 years.
26.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So, do you and your husband think Valentine's Day is a real thing, or is it like, do you care about it? Is it what are your thoughts?
So
Wait, hold on. Wait,
about
Mom
that.
said, "What's so special about Prince?" I think we have to kick her out of the
How come
chat
I can't? Oh,
eternally.
here's the comments I see now.
Anyway, go ahead, Kim. Valentine's Day, real or fake?
That I can't stand Valentine's Day. I really don't. It sucks.
Why not?
I don't know.
I don't know why I didn't expect you to say that.
I let me tell you something. I hate walking. First of all, I hate seeing it during Christmas time.
Yeah.
And as soon as I do, it makes me hate it even more. Okay, I hate to see all the stuff. It's just stuff and stuff and stuff, right? But then if you don't get me something on Valentine's Day, we gonna have a problem.
That's funny. How many times has Odari made the mistake of not getting you something because he thought you didn't like it?
He's actually gotten me something every year.
Okay.
There hasn't been a
Hence
year.
the 26 years, probably.
26. Yeah.
Mhm.
You don't get the 26 by accident.
He always gets the girls' stuff.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
That's very, very nice.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them. Y'all got, oh no, there's only 2. There's 2.
No,
They have
only
2
2.
daughters.
Yeah.
But still, more than 1 is a lot in my mind.
2 is a lot though.
Yeah.
Is a lot.
One is also a lot.
I have 1. It's a lot.
It's a lot. 1 is a lot of children.
People ask me when you're gonna have number 2. I was like, I'm good with 1 for now.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
yeah,
not
we're
really.
good. You know,
much of a-
people don't let other people cook, to use one of the slang from the young people. As soon as you get married, people are saying, "When's your baby coming?" As soon as you have your first baby, people are saying, "When's your second?"
Another one.
And I know, is Kasha in this chat right now? Well, her
Clamore
husband's- Hey, Clamore, which means Kasha's close. I do. So Kasha and Clamore, Kasha's my best friend. They have 3 sons, and I have asked Kasha more than one time
You're gonna try for
when
the
the next one's coming, and she like legit gets mad at me. Like, we get to, and I'm just like, okay.
So,
You deserve it.
So
You
have
deserve
two
that. You
girls?
deserve that vitriol.
yeah, and
Who
she
are you
says
gonna
if
try
she has
for
another
more?
one, are you going to pay for the tuition? Are you going to change the diapers? And I'm just like, I'll come and hold.
And then you'll go home,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
she'll still have the child there.
Welcome everybody who's here. Welcome John, Clamore. Who else do I see? I see Sheldon, Mom, Paul is also there. Welcome everybody, and anybody else who hasn't said anything in the comments. We'd love to read your comments, so go ahead and that's your time to participate. You get participation points.
For sure.
The more you comment, in the chat. Okay,
Clamore says more important that you babysit.
Now, once you pass a certain number
for extended periods of time.
Once you pass a certain number, I can take one, and I could probably only take the youngest one, because the younger ones I feel like for me are easier to manage than the ones who start to like know the world and talk back and think. The little ones just coo and cry if if you don't give them their bottle in time. Like, I can handle that, but the older ones be smart. They're too smart. I'm like, because I'm not spanking your kids. That's not happening. I didn't spank John or Julia. Happy birthday, John, by the way.
Happy birthday, John. Yeah.
It's John's 20th birthday.
Big 2-0.
Yep. I didn't spank them, and I'm not spanking any of Kasha's kids either. So, I got to take the youngest, because you ain't really got to spank them for real. They're not really doing anything. You know what I'm saying?
Theo doesn't really need spankings. Theo does not like to be disapproved of. He doesn't want you to not be happy with him.
Aww,
so yeah,
cutie.
That's how my brother was growing up. He didn't want you to be upset with him. So that disapproval is useful for Theo. You don't really have to put hands on him.
Mm-hmm.
What about?
I guess should we ask about your kids, Nina?
I was gonna ask. Were they like that too, or did you have to smack them around a little bit?
So
in love,
Nina would try you all the way until the very end, and then you give her one good one, and she would be okay for months.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
April, on the other hand, that's my youngest. You would need to get her every week. Like, even the next day, she would do the same thing that she got in trouble for. And you'd be like, you want me to spank you again? And like, spanking really didn't work for April. It really did.
How about you, Paul, since we're on the subject?
That was Claire. Claire didn't, spankings did not influence Claire's behavior.
Mm-hmm.
My behavior wasn't the problem. This is where people get mixed up. I wasn't bad. I was mouthy.
Right.
I wasn't doing anything, but I was talking back. And when you have somebody talking back, a spanking doesn't really fix that.
You still didn't answer my question. Like, I know you hit me, but you still didn't.
Right. I still have the same question I had before. What about you, Paul? How many,
I got spanked every day between the ages of 3 and 8.
And he's being exact and literal. 3
and 8, I got spanked every day.
Every day.
Oh my
Christmas, God. Sabbath, birthday. We didn't have holidays. You got President's Day coming up. There was no President's Day for spanking. I got spankings. That's how I roll.
No holidays, no days off.
No holidays. So I guess I couldn't say if it worked or not, right? If I needed them every day, was it working?
It clearly did not. Because just because you got older doesn't mean you stopped needing them. They just stopped giving them. Because now it's just child abuse. You still need them now. So it really didn't do anything.
But you still need them now.
I might still need them. I'm 45. I might still need them.
Might.
Oh, John said 3 to 9. So 3 to 9. That's probably
that's a 6-year period.
Yeah.
Of spankings every day.
No, 7 if you count the year I was 3, and also the year I was 9. That's 7 years.
So I'm gonna go super out of order because of what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
And we haven't yet, Kim, talked about your experience growing up as a PK, but I do want to ask you if you feel like growing up as a PK impacted, excuse me, how you chose a career or how you chose a spouse or how you raised your kids. And then we'll go backwards.
Yes, I will definitely say yes, it did. I, number one, said I would never marry a pastor. That was not happening. That was not happening. I did not want to be a pastor's wife at all. At all. And I feel like, too, it's like maybe we didn't really get to see, like, you guys moved a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't move.
Right.
At all. Well, let's see. I remember living in Savannah I remember living in Athens, and Athens is where April was born. So I was like 5.
Mm-hmm.
I remember living in those places. And we didn't move to Atlanta until I was like 8 or 9, actually 9, 8. Yeah, somewhere like that. So once we moved there, and I'm like 8 years old, we
That was
stayed in
it.
Atlanta. That was it. We
Yeah.
were there for the rest of my, time as, growing up as an adolescent. What was I saying? I forgot.
Well, I want you were adamant about not wanting to marry a pastor. So
Yeah.
Right.
where did that come? Where did that come from? Because obviously your sister
Right.
didn't
She
feel
Didn't
that
feel
way.
that way.
didn't feel like that.
So what are those
I don't know.
differences
I guess growing up and seeing my mother having to, for instance, maybe like stand up in front, or
Mhm.
when they called her name, or Ruth, can you stand? The pastor's wife, and she's standing up, and everybody's looking. And I am such an introvert. I was like, I do not. Even when they would be like, oh, and there's his daughters, Kim and April, please stand. I'd be like, I don't like that. I hate it. I don't want the spotlight on me at all. I really, And so I was just like, there's no way I want to marry a pastor. That was no. Mm-mm.
I'm yeah, I mean, okay, so your mom seems like she enjoys her life just in a general sense, right? So it wasn't so it seemed like it wasn't her response to being a pastor's wife that influenced you, because she liked it. She enjoyed her life.
I never saw her in a way that made me feel like, oh wow, this is she hates this, so I want to do it. No.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It was just that it literally was being up front, eyes on you. I don't like that. I just never wanted to do that. So when I moved from Atlanta to Boston, it was like a huge breath of fresh air because no one knew me.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who I was. I was just a regular person, and so it was great.
So hold on. You're an educator.
Yes.
Aren't all eyes on you in the classroom all the time?
Well, that's different. They're your kids. The kids is completely different with all eyes on you than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? That's completely different. They're mine. They're in my room. They're in my care. Boss.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're mine. So it's completely different with all eyes on me that way. It's the members,
Yeah. Yeah.
Was there any, and we're going backwards here, was there any sort of crazy interaction with a member you can think of that kind of fueled this feeling to not want to be up front or not want to be represent these people kind of thing? Was there anything that somebody said to you or did to you or something that was like, y'all are crazy? I'm not trying to.
I will tell you all this one story. Okay, so I'm not gonna. So so my dad was he was a guest speaker for this church in Atlanta. And I was grown with children, had already moved to Boston and came back. I was there visiting and I was with them, right? And I think it was Nina. I think she was little. I want to say that she was on my hip or something like that. And I had come into the church before my parents came in. I think they like dropped us off or something in front so they could go park. And as I came in, I was trying to go in the church and they were like, whoever it was at the front was so rude. She was just like, no, you can't come in, just being so nasty. And I was just like, dang, all right, well, I just stepped back, kind of wait. And then mom and daddy came in, and when they came in, they walked in and the people are speaking to them. Oh, hi, blah, 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 blah. And then I walked over to them and my mother, I think she was just like, oh, my daughter, this is Kim. Oh,
wow. Wow.
Come on. And I was just standing there like,
just totally flipped.
Really?
Because you with them.
Yeah.
Really? Like, give me that same thing because I'm a nobody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I used to hate that, you know?
Yeah.
And the same thing. I remember times like that when I was little as well. Like, you know, I'm gonna tell you, Tom. I tell you what I used to hate when we would go and visit churches, and the people would be like, "Oh, come on, girls, come to Sabbath school." I'd be like,
No.
"No, I don't know anybody. Why am I going to the
Right.
Sabbath school?" And Mama's like, "Yep, go on, go on."
Oh,
Oh my
man.
gosh, I used to hate that so much.
Trying to remember if Mom and
I
Dad
definitely
made me go
feel
to
you.
Sabbath school.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember going to those Sabbath schools. Me and April, we would like this on each other, like don't let go.
And I feel like you at least had a partner.
Yeah,
It was just me because John and Paul were partners.
That's right, Claire.
Julia said, "Please
I
go
don't want to go to
Sabbath
Sabbath
school."
school either. I did not want to go to Sabbath school either.
Yes, Julia.
I
With
feel
these
you on that though,
strangers.
Kim, because I always hated, one of the things I always hated was exactly what you're describing. Just the expectation that I was going to do a church related thing because I was the pastor's son.
Yes.
I always hated that. So this happened to me. This happened to me like a week ago, and I was dropping Theodore, my son, off to spend time with his aunt, and his aunt was at Pathfinders. She's one of the Pathfinder leaders at the church, right? So she's like, "I'm at Pathfinders today. Come drop them off. We'll be done around I think it was noon or something. We'll be done around noon. I'll still be there, but I'll be done working. I can take over. Just drop them off with me, whatever." So I go to church. I drop Theo off with Aunt Cynthia, and so now he's with the Pathfinders, but he's not in Pathfinders, right? So then then people see me, and they're like, "Hey, are you going to sign him up for Pathfinders?" "Oh no, you did Pathfinders, didn't you?" And like, "Oh, I know you're a Pathfinder, blah blah blah." And there's this whole thing like, I know you're a Pathfinder because because I know your dad,
Right.
so obviously you're a Pathfinder.
So, of course you have.
But also your son now has to follow in that same
So, right, so now my son has to be a Pathfinder.
Yeah.
First now.
I was never in Pathfinders. I'm not against Pathfinders. My wife was in it. She had a great time. I'm not against Pathfinders, but I just hated the expectation that I would have to do the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, our parents never did that to us. Our parents never made us go to Pathfinders. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to go to Sabbath school, but they didn't make us go to Pathfinders. So
I feel like I remember sitting with Mom a lot. I'm trying to remember if Mom is on there. Do you remember Mom? Making me go.
April said when Kim left for school, I was by myself going to random Sabbath school.
That's right, poor April.
Oh man.
Hey, names.
Oh man.
Yeah, everybody.
Clamore said something a minute ago that I thought was worth mentioning. Introversion is determined by environment we can or in control of, so that makes perfect sense. So,
and I was going to say I understood what you were saying, King, because I too was an educator, and I in that environment it was fine. Like I had no problems with it. But it's because it was just like you said, it was my room.
It's people you know and like.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. It's not necessarily people I know or like, but it's my room.
It's yours. It's yours.
Right. Yeah. So I get to set
You're
the
supposed to
rules
like
and
your
the parameters
students,
and stuff. I liked. Can we talk honestly?
Yes.
I liked the majority of my students. There were some students I didn't like.
Right.
Am I not allowed to say that?
There's some students right now I don't like.
Exactly. So I'm just like, let's just be real. That doesn't mean I treated them differently, but I don't like you.
Well, no, I'm kidding.
Oh man.
There's some students who get the.
Those still not loud enough.
It's not loud enough?
No.
Man.
We can't mess with it right now.
That was a good sound effect.
Aww.
Okay,
that was the Family Feud loser.
Yeah.
Not Family Feud.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, there's Family Feud. It's Family Feud. Yeah, Nina says louder.
No,
I can't make it louder, Nina.
That's not Family Feud. That's
Price is Right.
Price is Right.
Oh
yeah.
Price is Right. Yeah.
Bob Barker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll go back to the top. I just gotta.
To talk about what?
The questions. I just gotta. So Mom said, "Oh, Mom can't get back in the chat." She said, "We were all in Sabbath school." Oh, that's true. And she was often the teacher of Sabbath school. That's a good
true.
point.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe I was in Sabbath school. Maybe I just blocked it out because I really don't remember.
That was a little bit different though. Your mom is the Sabbath school teacher.
Right.
That's true.
You know, you're in there. This is your church. You're the pastor's kids of your church. You know, we were never the pastor's kids of a church.
Right.
You were always the guest pastor's kid.
Because that was at the conference.
Was always the guest, right? So yeah, he was in the conference for a long. Well, when we got to Atlanta, he was in the conference that whole time. So we would go with him sometimes to different churches, especially if they were in the city, and sometimes we would go out of town, with him. So yeah.
So basically, you were pretty much usually in a situation where at church, at least, you were in a situation where you didn't know anybody and everybody knew you.
Right. Everybody knew you, and I don't know these people.
Because you don't have a home. Because it's not your home church.
Right. Who are these people?
Wow.
And you don't know nobody. You don't know anybody's name. And
yeah.
Right. They're like, yeah. I'm like, hey.
Right.
I do that now. My memory. Oh my goodness.
But I feel like that's an important skill to have, and you were forced to learn it.
Right.
Because you were
I
PK.
didn't really learn it. There you go. I never really did because I could never remember people ever.
Right.
I'm bad at that too.
But at least you respond to them with warmth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Even if you don't remember.
They wouldn't know. Be like, hey, you.
Exactly. How's and then they jump in. You're like, yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna take a break in a minute. I'm gonna ask you a question here first, though. I'm curious about, because we're talking about
How is this going so fast?
30 minutes.
Anyway, go ahead.
30 minutes. Take a commercial at 30 minutes, which is at 6 or 7.
No,
anyway,
go ahead.
We're talking about obviously your choice, deliberate and emphatic, apparently, choice not to marry a pastor, right? You didn't want to be pastor's wife, but you decided to be an educator. And I'm just curious. I'm wondering because when we were growing up, women pastors wasn't really a thing, right?
Right.
So obviously you weren't going to go into the ministry, but I'm wondering if being an educator is similar in some ways. And did that factor into your decision making at all? Was there any part of your sort of career choice that was like, I want to do some sort of ministry, so let me go be an educator? Or was it just kind of you were good at it? Like how'd you come to be an educator coming from the pastor background?
So that was not in the thought at all.
Okay.
That was zero in it. Zero. Okay. I literally graduated, and so I graduated from AUC, right? And Odari was like,
I have an AUC joke. I'm not gonna tell.
A school.
I have several.
I have an AUC joke. I'm not gonna tell.
No, please don't say African Union College. Is that what you were gonna say?
I've actually never heard that one. That's good.
That is a good one. Oh, we lost her.
Oh man. Oh man.
Plug your phone in.
Now.
Oh yeah, there you go. Commercial.
Now.
We'll be back with Kim. Let's do our commercial. I'm really interested in the answer to this question. All right, hey, it's February. You know what that means. Valentine's Day is right around the corner.
Do you have any special plans for this stupid made-up holiday, Paul?
I do, but I want to keep them to myself.
Don't want to let the cat out of the bag?
Not quite yet. My wife watches this show, and I don't want her to know what's happening. But nice. I did find a great place to get gifts if you're looking for some jewelry for that special someone. It's King Solomon's Jewelry Vault, the first jewelry shop that specializes in rare pieces designed to help you overcome obstacles a la Indiana Jones.
Give your loved one a parkour bracelet that connects with cells in your body to help you jump off walls and duck under rapidly closing concrete slabs.
Does your special someone need to outrun a 2-ton boulder careening down a dark corridor? Get them an anklet designed to make them run faster.
Is your home surrounded by asps? The snake repellent ring emits an odor that will have them slithering in the opposite direction.
Don't mention Club PK, that's CLUB-PK, but give the cashier the secret nod. And he'll throw in a free prism necklace that changes colors to match whatever shoes you're wearing.
That's right. Don't mention Club PK. That's CLUB-PK. But give the cashier the secret nod, and he'll throw in a free prism necklace that changes colors to match whatever shoes you're wearing. King Solomon's Jewelry Vault. More bling than Solomon's Temple.
Oh my gosh.
I forget.
Yeah, I forget too.
So when I listen to these commercials, I'm like, this is so stupid. This is so dumb.
They're hard to record. They're hard to record.
Why did we
write them and it's like
why do we spell out Club PK and then say don't say Club PK? That doesn't make any sense.
It does. So you said to spell it instead of saying it. So you got to spell it and give the
number. That's so stupid.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, that was actually a convenient time for you to drop out there because we were going to go to the commercial. If there isn't such a thing. But anyway, we do want to hear the answer to that question. So you said there's no connection between the sort of the ministry idea and education. You said you graduated from AUC. We started telling AUC jokes.
Yes, so I graduated from AUC, and then Odari was like, there's an Adventist school that's in Boston. You should try. And mind you, I'm like 9 months pregnant at the time, right?
Wow.
And so April, and so I was like, you know what? Let me just contact the principal and just see, because our plan wasn't to stay in Boston. We were gonna go back home, So he actually, the principal, he was like, sure, let's talk, interview, whatever. I was like, okay. I had an interview, and he was like, yeah, we'll pick you up. But then we ended up moving to Atlanta. So I was like, oh, well, we're going to move and I'm not going to take it, whatever. So we left. And like 2 years later, things weren't working out in Atlanta. We were like, let's see if we can go back to Boston. Call that principal and see if he still got a job.
Wow.
So I literally called him back and he was like, I'll make room for you.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep. And that was in 2007, 8. Yep.
Nice.
So that school year, I came up, was a kindergarten teacher in the same classroom as where your mom taught.
Wow.
So cute. Yeah.
And also Aunt
That's
Cynthia,
crazy.
Paul mentioned our aunt earlier. Aunt Cynthia taught at Berea too.
Did she really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Was she the principal before she retired?
Who?
Aunt Cynthia, was she the principal? Anyway.
I would not be surprised. Wow.
Yeah.
So
so
education was part of your
for
plan.
What,
you just kind of fell into it almost. What happened?
Say it again, Paul. Just say it again.
Oh, I said education wasn't part of your plan. You just kind of fell into it.
Well, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I just didn't know where. And, if I was going to be an educator in Adventist school or in the public school. And that one came first. So that's where I've been ever since.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I wasn't like, oh, I want to minister to kids. Let me be an SDA teacher. No, that's not what I was doing.
Sorry, that was funny. Because me either.
Right.
I was thinking I need money, and these people have offered to give me some. So I'm going to go teach. And I was like, oh, it's nice over here. Okay.
Oh, okay. This is okay.
And then as I got into it, so it's interesting, as I got into it more and more, I started preaching on accident.
Yeah.
Like there's some class periods where I would be preaching.
Mm-hmm.
Like legit. Just because I love talking about Jesus. A freshman, not congregation. What's the other word? A freshman classroom is a captivated audience. Like they're paying attention. They're listening to you because they're scared, right? They don't know anything what's happening. So they're paying attention. And also, I feel like for them, if we're not talking about what we're supposed to be talking about, which is like thesis statements, they're on board. So I feel like anytime I talked about Jesus or salvation or anything Bible related, I was getting into it, and they were also getting into it. It made really great like classroom discussion. And that's how I got really good at integrating faith and learning. Like I always brought it back to whatever the lesson it was that we were doing. So it wasn't an actual diversion or getting away from anything, but it was a different way to give them.
With it. Yeah.
I'm going with the point is I accidentally became a minister. That's the point that I'm trying to make. I feel like I was duped into pastoring, but or into preaching rather. But I loved it, so it was fine. So you didn't have any other majors. You went into college education and left education.
I did. I actually went in for education and came out liberal arts because they were having me staying for an extra year, and I was like, God, no, that's not.
That's actually what I did too. I was an
time.
education major. Yeah, I was an education major for like sophomore and junior year, I think, and then senior year they were like, all right, 2 more years. That is incorrect. So I changed my major in English.
That is incorrect.
In English.
Yeah, right. But then you're still working your field, so it's like, who cares? You can get
Exactly.
You know, you can go to school for basket weaving, and it's fine. You know.
Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
so
But you know what? I will say this when it comes to being a pastor's kid. I don't think that I really had it that bad. You know. Yes, some of the people are annoying, and there's always somebody looking at you or saying, "Oh, Kimberly Hall, what are you doing?" That's because she a pastor kid, But that kind of stuff didn't really bother me. Let me tell you what bothered me the most. What bothered me the most was my mother being the teacher, and the class that I had at Berean and GAAA, they were so bad. And so it was like, and mind you, my husband was in that class too. And he ain't one like joning on you or joking on you or whatever. But everything was, oh, you got that grade because your mama the teacher, or so much of that all the time. All the time. Oh, I'm gonna beat you up at school, or you gonna run to your mama's class,
Can't even get in a fight good.
You know what I'm saying?
Right? Yes. I used to hate that so much. And so when I went to Boston and both of my kids came, of course, they would come to the school that I teach at, right? Little April was in preschool and Nina was in like 3rd grade. Nina was not doing well in school at all. And come to find out, the reason why she wasn't doing well is because her teacher had the thickest Jamaican accent ever in the whole entire world. She couldn't understand her.
Couldn't understand what he was saying. Wow. Or she.
She couldn't understand anything the lady was talking about, right? And so, when we realized this, we started, trying to get her some help, whatever. Anyway, she started doing better. And I remember some kids saying like, "Oh, you're getting good grades because your mom's here." When I heard that, I was like, I want these kids out of here.
Did you smack them?
My kids will not go to Avenue School. They're leaving. And the next year, they left.
Oh, you took them out?
I took them out. They went to a non-denominational school, and it was great.
And nobody knew who they were?
No one knew who they were. Yeah. Still a Christian school, great school they went to. Right. They're still receiving God. And I didn't have to deal with any of that. They didn't have to deal with any of that. I didn't want them to have to deal with the same stuff that I had to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I'm glad that I took them out of there. And as for, doing things different with my children than my parents did with me, for instance, like, you're not going to the movies, we don't wear jewelry, all those types of things. I didn't grew up in the 80s, but didn't watch the 80s shows and stuff, So, my friends are saying, "Oh, did you see such and such? Or do you like this song or that song?" I have no idea what you're talking about because, I kind of got left out. Not being able to listen to those things and watch those things and, be involved in that stuff. And so I was like, I ain't doing my kids like that. Y'all watching TV, y'all watching the movies, y'all doing this, y'all doing that,
That's funny.
So it's kind of like once we left Boston and came here, my youngest was in the 11th grade, right? So she did 11th and 12th grade over at TA, at Tacoma Academy. And for some reason, the culture is so different here with us Black folk than it is in Atlanta, than it is in Boston. The same Black people ain't the same Black people here. And we kind of realized that in April. She just literally got a culture shock, coming here. And it was like the kids doing things like wearing your jewelry or listening to music or doing things that we used to call like worldly,
Right.
They overdo it. They literally overdo it. And April's sitting here looking at this like, what are y'all doing? Because she grew up where it wasn't, you can't do that, you can't do this.
Right.
So looking at it like that, she's like, what are y'all doing?
Right.
She's looking at these people like, huh? Yeah, it was something.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It was really interesting seeing a pair. I'm not gonna do the same thing.
I wonder how much of how much of that I'm talking to any parent that exists, parenting is just a response to how you were parented.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There were things you either liked or didn't like. You repeat the things that you thought were great. You don't do the things don't go anywhere near the things that you thought weren't good. Which feels like a very human, normal response to things.
Yeah.
But I wonder how aware of that we are when we're doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In other words,
Like,
is that
Paul,
a deliberate choice, or is it like it's almost accidental kind of thing?
Or subconscious, maybe.
Subconscious.
Pretty subconscious.
Are there any things, Paul, that you do or don't do that you do because it was either because of your childhood, I guess I could say?
I remember being hugged a lot. Mom and dad were never afraid to hug us, especially mom, but even dad, they didn't like run from physical contact. So if my son wants a hug, I give him a hug 100% of the time. Every time he wants a hug, he can have it. So I always felt like I belonged to these people because of that. I know I could, I was on the inside because I could just walk up to dad and give him a hug. I felt like I could walk up to dad and give him a hug while he was preaching if I wanted to.
He probably would have let you, to be honest.
I never did it, but that's how I felt. That's how I felt. You know what I mean? I felt like I actually did do this to mom because mom was my teacher in second grade. I'd walk up to mom while she was teaching and give her a hug, and she let me. You know what I'm saying? So I always felt like their kid because of that in particular. So yeah, I am deliberate about that with Theo, and Theo's very touchy. So Theo's he's a physical touch kid. So he wants to be hugged, he wants to be loved on and stuff like that. So he can have it. So yeah, definitely.
He wants to climb on your shoulders while you're eating.
For sure.
Rub on your face.
And dad does the same thing with him. Like Theo, you've seen him. Theo climbs all over dad. Dad's like a jungle gym to dad, to Theo. And dad does not reject him at all. Dad does not take him down or push him off or whatever. If it's dangerous, he'll be like, okay, you shouldn't do that. But Theo's climbing on him, he lets him climb on him. So
that is so sweet.
Yeah.
I used to get hugs too, but I don't want hugs now. I'm not really a physical touch at all.
I'm not really either, but my son is. So it's for him. I don't seek hugs from him most of the time. But so I'm like you, Kim. I'm not a physical touch. For real. So yeah, I'm trying to just be what he needs to be. I guess we have a question for you from the crowd. Let's see what it says. Let's see if we can take it. From Clamore, based on your experiences at PK, do you observe any similarities in your children being children as an educator or differences? That's interesting.
Oh, good question.
Nina said, do you say you don't hug her?
Oh, Nina.
And is Nina more physical touch?
She's so physical touch.
That's so funny.
My poor kids have to be begging me to give them a hug. But you know what? I used to hug them a lot when they were little.
Right, there you go.
I don't know. It's something about when they got big. It's just like, go somewhere.
Put Clamore's question back up, Paul, so we can remember.
Wait, what's the question?
Yes.
Yeah, go back.
Do you see similarities in your children being children of an educator that you felt like you were children of a pastor? Are there similarities there or differences?
Well, yeah, like the one that I was saying with the kids saying, oh, because your mom, blah, 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 blah. But once they didn't go to the same school as I taught at, then there was no issues at all. Like none. None. Yeah.
Were there any rebellious behaviors? Julia saying that to Nina. Okay, so anyway.
She got you. Your cousin got you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're good. That's why you need a big family so that other people can fill in. We can't do everything. Up, Exactly.
You gotta be all things to all people.
It takes a village. Literally, it takes a village. Let's end with this question. What did rebellion look like?
We got 15 minutes.
For Kim Mendinghall. Oh, so we could have more questions. I'm messed up with the time.
We gotta do our random trivia question. Let's do that, and then I want to ask the rebellion question.
Okay.
We got a random trivia question. Okay. What grade do you teach right now, Kim?
I am 6, 7, and 8 Bible and social studies.
Okay, so let me just say this. Every time somebody says to me they teach those grades, I have to say some version of you are doing the Lord's work. Because
Yeah,
middle
100%.
school,
It's different. It's
Middle
different.
school.
I
This was
have been
different.
look, I have been a K-12 educator on 2 continents.
Mhm.
An administrator, a teacher. Middle school, I can't do it.
Middle school. But you know what? I love middle school. And I have now taught all K through 8. I have taught
Okay.
every grade, from K through 8. And my favorite grade will always be second grade. I love second
Oh,
grade.
okay. I was about you to
But
say middle. Okay.
I thought
middle
you were gonna say 6.
school is close. I love
Really?
Is it really?
Yes. I love middle
Why?
school. I love the fact that everyone is independent.
Okay.
I love that these kids can challenge you. You got to be on your toes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, every day is different. Every day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And some of those kids are out of control,
Yeah.
but I'm the one to get them back in control, which I like to do. I love to wiggle my arms when somebody is acting up. I give them the wiggle.
And they know what that means.
And they know what it means. Yes.
Right.
No, I do. I really do like middle school though.
That's great. And I love that. I love that you love it because I can't do it. And
Right.
and we need you. No, we need you because
We
those
need
years
you,
are so
yes.
important. Those years are so important to the
Yeah.
to the person this person's going to end up being. They're so important.
Yeah, it is. And I
We
have
need
had
you
so
bad.
many kids come to me in private, like, "Can I just talk to you?" And they're
Yeah.
telling me about their mental state.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
kids are
Mhm.
going through some stuff,
Yeah.
Mhm.
some real
Mhm.
stuff, and I'm just like, dang,
Mhm.
like you're in 6th grade. What's
I know,
going
right?
on? Yeah,
Dude.
but I like
Okay.
being that person that they can come and talk to, other than if they can't talk to their parents, if they don't
Right.
have
Right.
a therapist, they can come talk to me.
Right.
Mhm.
That's great. All right, so here's random. We got a random trivia question for you.
This is a are you smarter than a 5th grader question?
Oh,
Just so you know.
Yeah. So
I'll
according to
also
the
say that hold on. I feel like in these grades, like really random stuff is taught
yeah,
that we'll never use again. Like this question, for example.
like
Go
this
ahead,
one.
Paul.
Yeah. According to the interweb, you should know this once you reach and pass the 5th grade. Full transparency, I didn't
That
know
means
it.
I don't know it.
I didn't know it either.
I know now because I'm looking at the answer. But
I'm gonna forget as soon as this episode's over.
As soon as
So
the show is over, it is not in our notes. Okay, here's the question. What blood type is known as the universal recipient? What blood type? Not the universal donor, but the universal recipient. What blood type is known as the
if you get this
universal
right,
recipient?
I'll be so mad.
It's
That's a good guess.
That is a good guess.
It's wrong.
It's
a good
incorrect.
guess.
O is the universal donor.
That was my same guess too.
Yeah.
When I guessed.
O is the universal donor.
okay. What is it?
AB positive is the universal recipient.
Ain't nobody AB positive. No one.
AB positive. So if you have AB positive blood, that means you can take anybody's blood type in
Wow.
a blood transfusion. And of course, if you're O, you can donate blood to anyone.
How do we find out? I don't know my blood type. Do y'all know your blood type?
I have it written down somewhere.
Is that something I should know? Like I have no idea.
Nina says she knew. She said Nina says she said that, and also what does she win? Now, first of all, we don't know that
You
you
win
said
a
that.
hug
You just
from
said that you said
Kim.
that.
That's what you
Oh,
win.
that's a good point. That's a good
You win
prize.
A hug from your mother.
20
nice
seconds.
Long,
20
I was
second
gonna say
hug.
30. I was gonna say 30.
30 seconds.
Hugs.
Yeah, half a minute.
But get this, y'all. Nina teaches at Berea.
We've all listen. Berea's the place.
It's the place.
Go to teach.
Nina teaches at Berea, and you know how excited I was about that.
Right.
Nina's excited about her prize.
Oh, Nina.
Dad said mom knew it. Mom got it right.
Are they texting you?
They're not in the chat. Yeah, they can't. Their chat's messing up, so they're texting me.
Okay.
They can go on Facebook too. It's on. We're live on Facebook as well. Anyway.
Oh, Dad said mom is AB positive. I always thought she was O.
Oh.
Not that it matters, but I mean,
positive, Claire.
You know, I don't know how blood works, honestly.
Why do you know mom's blood type and not your own?
Dad just told me
You
mom's
just
blood
said
type.
your
I
dad
don't know mom's
told
blood type.
Oh,
Yeah.
you said you thought she was O.
Because everybody's O.
Oh, I did think she was O. I don't know why I thought where I got that from. That is what I thought though.
Yeah.
Mom might know my dad. Ask mom, or she's probably sitting right there. Tell me what my blood type is. She probably knows because she knows all those random.
We can't put
facts
your
about us children.
responses on the screen.
So we can say them out loud though.
Nah, I don't know.
Dad doesn't know his. That doesn't surprise me.
Anyway, Kim, back to Kim. So Kim, what was your question, Claire?
What did rebellion look like for
About
Kim
my-
Mendinghall was my question.
Rebellion. Yeah, what did rebellion look like?
Child. Tell my mama to get off. No, I'm just kidding.
Your daughter's watching. She probably knows already.
Right.
She probably already knows. No, let me tell you something. As soon as I got to Oakwood, I was just wild. Literally, I was just wild. No, it started at Pine Forge. I pierced my ear myself. Right?
Wow.
Yourself. I didn't know that.
In the door. Yep, I sure did.
In the dorm?
In the dorm.
That is such a bad idea. Oh my goodness.
It's a horrible idea. End up having to take it out. They're not gonna let you wear that at Pine Forge.
Right.
Of course.
And then that was the start. And went to Oakwood and just partied and doing all kinds of stuff, honey.
Had a good old time.
Had a good old time knowing good and well I wasn't supposed to be doing none of that stuff.
But you
Except
sound
dropping out.
like
Yeah, big fun with the wretched, like Vanessa.
you sound like
With the Baltimore and had big
April's-
fun.
April, your daughter. You sound like April's classmates who were just doing too much.
Yes.
That's what you sound like.
That is exactly what I was.
Yeah.
April's classmates doing too much. Yes.
Okay, you said you dropped out, and then was there more after that?
You said you dropped out? I missed that.
I dropped out of Oakwood, went back home, and then once having the taste of freedom and then having to go back home, it was you got the rules of home, and it was just like, I don't want to do this, And by this time, Odari and I were, we were getting together, and I ended up leaving home and going and moving in with Odari. So, everything.
I don't know any of this stuff.
Me either.
I do nothing.
Yeah.
This is where we should have started the show. This is what I want to hear.
Exactly.
Let's do another hour. Just about this.
Oh my gosh. And then I got a tattoo, and that was just, oh my goodness.
Right.
And I tried to hide it, and my mom found out, and she's just going off on me or whatever. And my father did not say a word. He did. He didn't scold me or anything. He said, I'll pay for it if you want to get it off.
Oh wow.
That's what he said to me. He didn't go off. He didn't go crazy. When I got my ears pierced, same thing. He didn't go off. He didn't go crazy. It was just, he really didn't even say nothing about that.
What kind of temper control serum did your dad take? Because
Yes.
that's good.
No, seriously. That man right there was calm and cool as cucumber, with everything. Even down to when we got spankings. It was, go to your room. I'll be there.
Oh, I was about to say, what was that?
Please take her out. Yeah, that's a big dog. But yes, even down to that, it was so sweet and calm, even though it was scary as what, because his voice was so deep, So we're like, he called your name, Kimberly. I'm like, what did I do?
Yes, God.
Right.
But even down to the spankings, it was him going, all right, stand, boom, 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 get your little licks and go on. Even down to that.
What was your mom's spankings like? Because I'm looking forward to Paul reminding us what mom.
All over your head, all over your back. That little lady, she would tear you up. Okay, tear you up all over.
Do you think, because your mom is small, our mom is small, do you think our moms were overcompensating because they were so small? And just make sure we knew they were there, so they got to hit you 35 times and bust you up beside the head and all of that?
Oh my gosh, let me tell you something. Now, you know how small my mother's hands are. Right? She has these little tiny hands. We were in the car. I was in the front seat. It was a summertime because I had on shorts, and I thought I was big and bad, gonna be talking back to her, and I was just, She took that little hand and smacked me as hard as she could on that thigh of mine that was out and exposed.
Oh,
It hurt so bad. I had to just
the
I just turned
exposed
to the window like I was dying on the inside.
Oh man!
Oh, terrible.
Woo!
That's crazy.
Childhood.
But no, I really did act up. I acted up.
I'm always kind of in awe of your dad because April said she remembers that and she was silent the rest of the trip.
Yes. Nobody said a word.
But your pop, Dad, because you're
just falling down my eye.
The thing about your pops I always thought was amazing is that he's so composed, right? He's so like stately, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, proper presenting, but you get him in private, and that dude is a clown, man. Like,
He's
Like,
hilarious.
that dude is like one of the funniest dudes ever.
Absolutely.
I remember one time we were walking around. Sorry, go ahead, Kim.
No, go ahead.
One time we were walking around the mall. It was like a holiday weekend or something, and that's a cool thing for the audience who doesn't already know. You know, obviously John married Kim's sister, so all of us are family, and we've all spent a bunch of holidays together, like family holidays. We just all get together. You know what I'm saying? And there's no like in-law thing. We just get together. So it was some holiday, and we were all together for some reason. We was like walking around the mall, and your dad. It was like mall had just opened. The mall had been open like 10 minutes. Your dad walked in, some random dude, this white guy, he's like a teenager, clearly like going to work at like Foot Locker or something. And your dad's like, hey, you know what time they open Cinnabon? And the guy's like, because your dad's like wearing a 3-piece suit and stuff. Like it looks like a diplomat or something. He's like the mayor. He's like some random kid. Hey, you know what time? He's like, no. He's like, oh, okay, thanks. And I'm just like, what is?
No, he was a clown. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah, good times.
Very good times.
Yeah.
Kim is fun. Kim is
fun. We're out of time, but Kim is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always being around together.
Kim, it's gonna be laughs and a good time.
For sure.
Have laughs. We got to have the laughs.
Agreed. All right. I think we got through everything.
Sure.
Yeah, I think we got through everything.
Why not? One more. Last one. Although you kind of answered this in a way, but let's just kind of circle back to this. Where are you now in your PK journey, relationship, life?
As you reflect,
yeah.
Ciao. Where am I now is I am 50 years old and I gives no. Is my mom on?
My mom died.
But no, I don't. I don't care. I do not care 1 ounce for anyone. I don't.
And it must feel good just to be free. That kind of freedom. That kind of freedom is nice. That's my favorite part about getting older. It's just I care less and less and less and less.
I care for what I need to care for.
Right, exactly. And that's it.
You know, everybody else, I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
So that is where I am.
Mm-hmm.
That literally is where I am. Yeah.
That's great.
Good.
It's all about the family right now. And I'm so happy to be in the same city. I mean, we're literally, Claire, I'm 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Yeah.
7 minutes from Mama and April. And, you know, this is where we
nice.
Can be. This is nice. Yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome. Awesome.
We don't have no kids in the house. So me and Odari just be walking around, you know, doing our own thing.
Empty
I didn't
nest.
think you're gonna say doing your own thing, but that's a nice way to.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha. Congrats.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Kim, for your time and for talking and laughing with us and sharing your jokes and funny stories. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Stick around backstage for a second.
Yeah, stick around backstage
Okay.
if you have a minute. We're going to do a quick commercial, and then we'll do. She did a. Did you do a balloon thing? How'd you do that?
Balloon thing.
Yeah, I just saw that.
You didn't do that?
I must
maybe
have did it.
Maybe the system that did that.
Let's have
anyway.
go to commercial.
All right, so yeah, we'll see you later, Kim. We'll see you in a minute. Sorry to cut her off again. All right, so quick commercial, and then we're gonna do a wrap up. Just hang out for just a minute. We're gonna a couple things to say, and then we'll let you go.
I love reading books that help bring me closer to God, but once I put the book down, it's sometimes difficult to take the principle I just learned and apply it to my daily life.
You know, sometimes something similar happens to me after leaving church. I go to a great service and I feel spiritually fulfilled by the music, the preacher, the fellowship, but I don't always know what to do next.
To help solve this problem, we've created a unique resource to help you live your life with God more fully.
The God is a Person workbook includes additional practical steps and challenges that can be done individually or with a group. They are designed to help bridge the gap between the decision to live with God and starting a lifestyle of living with God.
Each practical step also includes access to a short video where we give further encouragement and insight.
Visit cpnix.com or Apple Books to order your copy today. That was fun.
I think it's funny that I had just a general sense of I don't know what's going on, because when I saw that commercial, I was like, we're on Apple Books?
Wow.
I just don't know what's happening.
Wow.
I think it's funny.
No idea. We actually
get
did
our
that
workbook,
commercial
guys.
before we had published the workbook, but it's out now. So
Yeah, it exists.
yeah,
And it's actually, it goes really well with the God is a Person book.
for sure.
Goes well with the workbook. So
Lots of
copy your
lots
copy
of real
today.
practical stuff to do.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. Yeah, that was fun.
That's when I
Kim is
got
a
my good
blast.
laughs in. Yep.
I
ain't gonna
all right.
say.
Yeah, that's it. We're wrapped up here. We're done. I did want to talk about the Super Bowl halftime show, but maybe later.
Oh, I forgot.
I think it would be relevant for a little while, so maybe we can talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah. We'll let people complain about it for a couple more weeks, and then we'll
I
talk about
saw a
it
thing.
next show.
I mentioned it in my classes. I saw, and one of my students showed me a challenge. I do it now. I should bring Kim back on. Kim, come back on for 5 minutes. Talk about the Super Bowl.
The halftime show. That's right.
The halftime show.
Kim,
Let's talk
first of all,
about the
let me
halftime show for
say
5 minutes.
this. Hold on. So me and Kim and Odari went to John and April's house for the Super Bowl, right? So we're all there together. And Kim, all I'll say is Kim was rooting for the Eagles.
Yes.
Very loudly.
Yes.
The entire Super Bowl.
I wanted to be wild and
nobody-
loud like I normally, and everybody, even Odari, calm down. Why being so loud? I'm like, because y'all hating.
Right.
That's what it was. But no.
That was fun. That was good times. We had way too much food and there's a lot of laughs.
Yeah, it was way too much food there.
I'm still eating on it, by the way.
Wow.
So what did you? Did you? What did you think about the halftime show?
I loved it. I literally loved it. I'm hearing that you didn't like it, Claire?
No, I loved it.
Oh,
but
okay.
People didn't like it. Like people were saying they didn't like it. Yeah. And I can get why they didn't like it, but and I think April will probably say this in a second in the chat. The dancing was on point.
Yes.
And also, I know who Kendrick Lamar is, an artist. The show, but like it made sense to me what he did. That was him.
Yeah.
And I think maybe people don't understand who he is.
Kind of do a deep dive on what everything meant.
All that symbolism and stuff he was doing.
Yeah. Which is so one of my students asked me to talk about it in class because like there's so much symbolism and we're talking about literature and symbolism is a big part of that. So I started with you have to understand who the artist is. You have to start there because Kendrick Lamar, first of all, he has 22 Grammys, right? So he's a long time successful dude, but he's got a Pulitzer. Kendrick Lamar has a Pulitzer Prize, right? So just that by itself, even if you've never listened to his music before, just that by itself tells you he's not just a musician. He's trying to do something else, right? He's trying to impact the culture. He's trying to tell a story, all that kind of stuff.
I was gonna say he told the fact that man, I can't think of his name, but there's two words I could say. Okay, that would let you know who I was talking about, and I can't say them. So the fact that Samuel L. Jackson, was the narrator.
Right.
Like it was literally a
And
story
dressed
that
as
he told.
Uncle Sam.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it was dope.
For sure. The
It was dope.
And
choreography was
like,
incredible.
Oh, you want to hear that's too ghetto.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what they want, nice and smooth and slow. Like,
Yep.
then here comes SZA.
Right. Yeah.
Who
The
you
choreography
know
was
is Drake.
unbelievable. You heard, and he said that he did not like us, obviously, and you know, because he just won 5 Grammys for that song like 2 weeks earlier. You have to do not like us. You know, when he said Drake's name, he looked at the camera for like 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like I'm talking to you, Obi. Like I know I'm on a world stage, but I'm talking to you right now.
Talking to you. Oh, I wish I could be a fly on the wall in Drake's house.
He's crying. He's weeping.
And then the whole you heard the whole stadium singing along when he got to the A minor part, right? It, like 100,000 people singing along. That was crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely crazy. So anyway, we got to go, but I want to say this last thing. One of my students showed me a thing. He was like, he was on the news, so he found, I don't know where he found it from. We found this right wing news station, not even like Fox, but like some source that nobody's ever heard of. And the guy, it was like a 30-second rant about how this is the worst Super Bowl halftime show ever. And he's talking about how they use this unknown artist, and they had
unknown to you.
I'm like, unknown. He's got 22 Grammys. He has 22 Grammys. Unknown. Anyway, he's like unknown artist, you know, terrible, all this kind of stuff, and disrespecting the country. And then he went on this whole thing about how they signed the contracts for who's going to be the halftime performer before Trump got into office. So there's nothing Trump could have done because the contracts were already signed. I'm like, who do you think decides who is the Super Bowl halftime entertainer? Why do you think the president is? Why do you think that's up to him?
Wow.
What country do you think they want a dictatorship? So you know,
we got some good comments you're letting fly by.
Boo Taylor Swift.
I'm so sick of anyway.
They booed her.
Did they?
Sick of it.
There's a ton of comments.
When they booed, she's like, "Oh, what?" Yeah, everybody's sick of her.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be next year's Super Bowl halftime.
Oh, I hope not.
That would be funny. That would be funny. All right,
we're really done.
Okay.
Thank you again,
guys.
Kim.
Appreciate you guys.
We're signing off for real this time.
Earlier, April said you're not a real Eagles fan. You were faking.
Yeah, she did say that.
Hey, let me tell you something. I'm not a real Eagles fan. That's correct. I am a true Dirty Bird fan to the end. Okay.
Right,
What you say? No, that's because she wasn't an Eagles fan. She was just pretend. Let me tell you something. If you have to choose between two teams,
right,
I usually go with the underdog.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and on top of the quarterback being black and cute.
Right. So the choice was easy. That's funny. And the Eagles, it
was a remix. It was a boat race.
I mean, like honestly.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I almost think that it was fixed.
Because it was so
so decisive.
Yeah. From the very, very beginning.
Oh yeah.
Immediately decisive.
The DEI team won.
Right. Exactly. Right. John said he wasn't that cute during the final interview because all his stuff was all, melted off his face.
That's true, John. But he's still a cutie. Did you see him on Jimmy Fallon? He was so cute.
He was at Disney a couple days ago. My friend Camille, who's an actual Eagles fan, went to Disney and saw him.
Stop it.
He was on the float. During the parade. Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Kamor just sent me a text of people on a cruise singing along at the A minor part during the
I saw that. Yes. It was on Carnival.
That's crazy.
Of course it was Carnival.
Of course it was Carnival. And everybody was going nuts on the A minor.
We have to go. We have to have you back, Kim, because April said we got to talk to you about being a conspiracy theorist. We don't have time.
We got time for that.
We gotta have you
know
back.
what we'll do? We might need to have a siblings episode, and we'll talk about that then.
Yeah.
Let's have all five of us
we did
on.
the sibling stuff on John and April show a couple times.
Yeah, but they're retired now, so
they're retired, really?
I don't know.
Coming
It's
back.
been a minute.
I thought they were coming back too.
The point is, we could do it on our show.
We could do it. That's true. Just have everybody on here. There you go.
Just have a fun episode. That's great because we don't know who our next guest is. So let's do that next time.
We need to have all of us on here. Odari, John, everybody. Yep.
That would be fun.
We do. That one will be the one.
All right, shouts.
All right. Thanks.
You guys next time. I don't know. Tomorrow. Whatever.
Okay. You going to school tomorrow?
No, I'm just saying I'll see you whenever because you're right there.
Okay. Yeah. Bye.
Okay, we're really leaving.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.